Operators are standing by.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss the unidentified, the unexplainable, paranormal, conspiracies, and much more. Starring your hosts and co-hosts, Jenny Nicasio, Sean Kelly, Trish Moe, and Jason Spencer and Ryan Petro. Brought to you by UPRN Network. Now for your host, Jenny Nicasio.
That is sweet.
Good evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy on FM 105.3 New Orleans, where we discuss anything beyond the scope of normal. I'm Jenny Nicasio, along with my co-hosts, John Kelly, Jason Ian Petro, and Trisha Moe. Tonight, we have a great show tonight. Guys, how you all feeling?
Cold.
Finer than frog's hair.
Frogs here? You know I have a thing for frogs, right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right?
Don't lick the toad.
Oh, man.
I do too.
I love my
I love
frogs.
Hi, Joni.
Welcome to Torture Tuesday.
Yeah, Trish, I love frogs. I don't know why. I don't know. I just love frogs, and I'm so happy that I had my frogs come back to my pond this year. And I hope they come back next year.
How many did you kiss, Jenny?
Oh, a lot of them. I've kissed a lot of frogs. I'll tell you that.
It's probably.
I'm still waiting for my prince, but
Did you start hallucinating?
Hey, Dorian. Hi, Christine.
Hey, everybody.
good evening, guys. We have a very good show tonight. I hope my guest comes in. We are going to talk with a really cool guy that does a lot with documentaries with paranormal, Bigfoot, UFOs. But since we don't have him on, we have a lot to discuss with the paranormal world. So I just want to let you know that there's a lot of UFO sightings out there. So I have a lot of them. We're going to share. But I want to give it to you guys first. It's Jason and oh my God, a brain freeze. Jason and Kelly. Oh my God,
Kelly.
Kelly.
Jeez.
Damn,
girl. What the hell?
It's from all the frogs she was kissing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you guys, and I'm gonna go backstage. I want to make sure I got my guest his link. Okay, so you guys
Sure.
take it away. Take it away, guys.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well, here we go.
Take me away.
So, how's the paranormal field there, Jason? How's it going?
Oh, spooktacular.
Spectacular. Hey, I'm trying to hook us up with a investigation over at that school on Route 8. It should be a Friday or Saturday night, and I'm looking forward to it. We've done it before.
Okay.
In fact, when I was making my TV show, Paranormal Pittsburgh, my office was over there in this school. And
you know what? I think I've been there.
Yeah, were you there with us that one
No,
time?
I was there with Fred.
With Fred. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. So, I got a couple I'm lining up too. There's a chiropractor's office that's local to here, and I was talking to him last time I was there, and there's a lot of negative activity in one particular room that even a child got scared over it, and he wants us to come out at some point. So I'm working on setting that up. Maybe we could do some live.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. How about you, Trish? What's happening down there in the haunted worlds?
Oh, it's like 70 degrees.
World. Yeah. Yes, it is. It is. Well, the lunar eclipse is coming up this week, Thursday, I believe. So that's exciting in my world. You know, that's a big, the moon phase, the full moon.
That's coming up, right?
Yep, Thursday night, I believe.
Thursday night.
Is the star, but of course the full moon energy is 3 days before and 3 days after. So
that's probably what's wrong with me.
Hey, you know what's wrong with all of us? The thing that's wrong with everybody right now is Thanksgiving is next week.
Yeah. I got a
Let
public
that sink in for a
announcement.
second.
And daylight.
Oh, big announcement!
I have a public announcement.
Go
to make.
for it. What's your
I
announcement?
can only imagine what this
Okay.
is.
Being a meat cutter for the last 21 years.
Congratulations.
And I recommend, I tell everybody, please, if you are going to get a frozen turkey, get it by Thursday.
Why?
because
in the
it will
fryer
eventually thaw out by Thanksgiving. You'll be able to cook it. Don't go
Oh.
to your supermarket 3 days before Thanksgiving and
Okay,
get one.
Sean, I
Well,
have a
the
question.
easy way is just throw your frozen turkey in the deep fryer and
I
let
have
it
a
rip.
question for Sean Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
I went to the Giant Eagle and I asked the butcher, one of the butchers, I go, do you have any fresh turkey? And he
Mhm.
says, oh yeah, we have a lot of them in the cooler. I said, they're fresh. I mean, they're raw turkeys without being frozen. And I said, they're not going to be okay to eat by by Thanksgiving. And he's, oh no, they're fine because our coolers are super cold.
Hmm.
That
That
doesn't sound right.
No. You talk to a dummy. But when you go to
Salmonella on Black Friday.
That's what I said. I said, are you out of your mind?
but you know what you do, Jen, what you should do is go to where they have the fresh turkeys and look at the tag because it has the expiration date in which they can use it by.
Yeah,
So-
well, I was really kind of concerned about it, and I told him, I said, I'm going to check with my mom because I've never heard that before.
No.
Okay,
What's
good.
the worst
No,
that
no.
can happen?
I could get sick and die in.
But I
yeah.
tell you what, though, with a lot of
You blow
people
the
when they
toilet
go
off
to
the floor.
to the fresh case for fresh turkeys, they feel like they're frozen, but they're actually not. See, what they have to do is once they get processed, they have to put a flash freeze on the turkey, and that's to keep the it without getting any bacteria or nothing like that. So
Okay. Well, now I have a question. Should I get a Giant Eagle one or should I get a Butterball?
okay.
We're gonna get fresh
No, with
smoked turkey. I was
Butterball,
just
with
informed.
Butterball, all you're doing is buying
The name.
saline solution with butter in it. And no, I would go with a Giant Eagle turkey.
Okay. Well, that's
Hello,
great.
Boots.
That's great.
I'm
So
just gonna get a TV dinner this year.
no, don't do that.
McDonald's has Thanksgiving dinners on Thursday.
Yeah, I like the side dishes more so than the turkey.
Hi,
like-
Boots.
I like this. I like the
I know. I
butternut
do
squash and.
That's
So who likes
good.
the white meat and who likes the dark meat?
I
on
like the
turkey?
dark meat.
I
I
like
like
white
the
meat.
dark meat because it's tender.
Yes.
Tender and
Yes.
juicy. The white meat's too dry. Ugh.
Yeah,
I like
you want
turkey
gravy.
but for the most part, I like the white meat.
Well,
I love deviled eggs. You know.
I do too.
Oh,
on
yeah.
a lot of
Hell
things.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's
I
the
don't
way
know
to
about
go.
that.
My friends don't like it
Deviled
when I eat them.
No, I don't know about that. Well, I'm just gonna go over some things that we're gonna talk about later in the show tonight. Well, I was saying that there's been UFOs spotted repeatedly in the skies lately. I don't know if you guys have been aware of that. Especially there's some above France. There's oh my God, there was just one on coast to coast. That's one we have a video for. That a guy, a person caught a UFO, triangle type UFO. They caught it on one of them door video cams. So that should be really cool. I'm real excited about that. And there's a donut UFO in Switzerland that keeps being seen. And that was 2 days ago. And then there's a spike. There's been a spike in the UFO activity across the military. There's a lot of stuff. There's UFOs everywhere.
Kansas City it has become a major hotspot for UFOs as well. In the recent months, it's starting this past summer, actually.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot, and there was just one in Maine on November 1st. So we're going to go over a lot of these headlines tonight and a lot of videos that I have. So we're going to have a fun evening. And our guest, I believe, is in the backstage. So let me just go talk about him a little bit. And Jeremy NORRI is wow. I watched some of his videos years ago. The one that stuck out was the Bigfoot one. So I just want to make sure I can see him in there. My computer, I moved everything around. So all my computer stuff is a little, yes, he is backstage. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Jeremy. I hope I'm not screwing up his name because I always have. I might have to have Jason or Sean or Trish introduce him. But so what we're going to do with Jeremy, we're going to talk everything paranormal tonight. So like I said, he's done produced a lot of documentaries. We're going to focus on the paranormal because this is a show about paranormal activity, but he's a lot of other stuff that's really cool. And he actually his films have won, I believe, Aliens versus Bigfoot won first place for the best director, International Film Festival in March of 2021. He has Don't Call Me Bigfoot. That's the one I watched. I did watch Don't Call Me Bigfoot. I watched that with my mother because she likes watching Bigfoot. More so than UFOs. And then let's see what else we have here. He did the aliens. What else we have? The alien. There's an alien one, and he also did some like controversy documentaries. I really think if you get a chance to look up his information, I'm just going to try to pull up some of his bio. Like I have too many windows open, and that's my fault. So I'm going to make Jason do that because he's always laughing at me in the background over there. Okay, if you can get his link, it's theskyisland.com, and he has a listing of all his documentaries. Like I said, there's a lot of them. Don't Call Me Bigfoot, Aliens versus Bigfoot, which sound, you guys, Alien and Bigfoot, they're probably the same thing.
They're right there together.
The Other Side of the Ring. Oh, geez. Well, without further ado, I'm going to bring him on so he can go ahead and tell you a little bit about his story. And we have a lot of questions for him tonight. So let me go ahead and bring him on. Welcome to Chasing Prophecy, Jeremy.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, welcome, Jeremy.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Go ahead and tell us like we said, we're going to talk about mostly the paranormal, but you have a lot of them to discuss. So go ahead and tell me, okay, we're going to start with the one with the aliens versus Bigfoot.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That might be my favorite one.
Tell me, I mean, that had to be really intriguing interviewing all these people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of all these subjects, so I watched many, many other documentaries and TV shows and all the different things related to the subjects, Bigfoot, aliens, and other stuff too. But those two are kind of the two main ones that I really think might be true, right? So Aliens versus Bigfoot is kind of a deceiving title. It's actually about the people who watch and study and are obsessed with these subjects. And why do they do that? What do they like about it? How are these subjects similar? How are they maybe different also? And so it's not necessarily about aliens or about Bigfoot. It's more about the people who are into those things.
Which one stood out the most for you with the alien versus Bigfoot? I mean, the stories are so, similar, but is there one that actually stood out?
So our most popular film is the Bigfoot movie that you watched. And for me, that's definitely a great film. That's one of our earlier things, but it's not our best work. I think we have another film called I Want to Believe.
Yes.
About UFOs. And it's a little bit more current on some of the stuff. And I interviewed all these different people at a UFO convention. And so, I think there might have been a couple other ones in there, but mostly that's where we did it. And so it was really convenient. I was able to get all these current UFO experts all in one place and talking about all the same stuff and going off of some of their latest info in their lectures and things. So it's very current. It has a lot of stuff that is about the misinformation going on with UFO stuff. And that right now is a really popular topic. And of course, the Commander Fravor and the Tic Tac UFO and all that stuff. Yeah.
So which one of you've seen the recent reports? I mean, like I was saying in the beginning, I don't know if you could hear us backstage, but there's been so many recent activity lately. Of all the people you've spoke to, did they ever mention? Like, do they believe that they're coming soon, or?
So I had a very disappointing moment with Nick Pope. I usually don't throw him under the bus, so I don't tell who it is, but obvious.
Oh, please do.
Wheels
Like
on the bus go round and round.
So I said I had just interviewed him for the film, and we had talked about the Tic Tac UFO, and he's very knowledgeable about all that stuff, and that's kind of the area of UFOs that he's most interested in, has connections to, experience with, all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so off camera, I say to him, "All right, so do you think these are aliens, or what do you think?" Like,
He said no.
and he said no. He said they're all military.
So he thinks they're fake.
Yeah, he thinks they're military. So, and that, like, there's a lot of that right now, right? Like, with all this stuff that's been coming out, there's all these people that are saying, well, why is it coming out? Isn't it maybe coincidental that the government is now all of a sudden okay with UFO information and admitting it and et cetera? Maybe it's a cover-up of something else, of military projects that we don't have that are from the Russians and from China. So that's what a lot of people think those things are.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, whenever did you see the video when they were like around the naval battleship, the aircraft carrier?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
I think that's
And
Fravors video, isn't it?
I guess, I really don't know, but and then you had the ones where the pilots, actually were laughing because they caught one.
Right.
I personally believe, I do finally, after a year and a half, believe in UFOs. But what I believe is that it is like something totally different, because if they were seriously, truly UFOs, and that ship, because I was in the Navy, that ship felt like it was under stress. They would have shot them down, but it was like they were laughing at it because they were around it. So maybe it is a secret, or a high company that are making these. So that's my opinion on that.
It is interesting that they say they don't know anything about them, that they see these things all the time and they have no idea what they are. It wouldn't surprise me if they know a little more than that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I just can't why would they make it say that it's military when there's so many pilots and so many sailors and are saying that they actually see them in Air Force, people. I don't know. Jason, you're so quiet. Oh, go ahead, Trish. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Well, I don't know, Jeremy, if you have seen, gosh, it was a few years ago, there was an anonymous, it was on YouTube, a video of an alien interview. And whether that was, fake or not, it had a lot of really good information on it, actually, because it was portrayed as a government official of some sort interviewing an actual alien. And what the alien said was something along the lines that some of the UFO sightings and things are in fact military. And it was a certain, they said in that video, the triangle shaped UFOs were all government. And then the other ones were of unknown origin or from other planets or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk to Nick, for example, he was the investigator for the military for the UK, right? And so most of the stuff they could explain, but then there's this small percentage that they can't explain.
Right.
And I think obviously the way math works, right? Some of those might be explainable still, that they just couldn't explain it for whatever reason, but it is still some sort of explainable military thing or something like that. But I'm not sure that all of them are, right?
I know. I grew up in the mountains in southwestern New Mexico, where in the 80s, they had first started testing these stealth fighter planes out of White Sands Missile Range there, and we were the first to see those. So everybody thought those were UFOs, and it was just a new fighter jet. So
yeah, that's normal, and that's so disappointing when you think you've
Right.
seen something. Like I saw a satellite one time, and I had thought, oh, for sure that was a UFO,
right.
and then I learned a little bit more, and then the way it was moving, and then I thought, oh, okay, that's probably a satellite, is what I saw. So it's disappointing, but then you talk to people, and they have these stories that are really different, that are and you believe them. I don't feel like they're lying to me. So what happened? And it's unexplainable. So yeah, I love that.
So I have a question. Going back to since you're into filmmaking, just out of curiosity, if you had a film with Alien, Predator, and Bigfoot in a triple threat grudge, who would win?
Alien from the Alien movies, obviously.
It's like Godzilla versus King Kong.
Predator is a hunter killer, Like,
yeah, but could he find the Bigfoot though?
Yeah,
I'm sure he could.
He's probably got some sort of a different lens that makes them all visible.
That would be an interesting movie.
No, I'd go along with the Alien, or I would definitely. That was a good show.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pull up that TikTok, not the TikTok, the
TikTok.
That thing with the ring bell ring.
Yeah, the ring bell. I'm gonna try to pull it up. Yeah, I told you it's a full moon. It's really scary. So how do I do this?
You guys also do ghosts and that kind of stuff. So
Yes,
I
I
have
do.
2 new movies that are just out that are about that subject. So I have
Really cool.
Oh,
called Sound of the Dead,
Oh,
EVPs, the electronic voice phenomenon.
Mhm.
And
okay.
another one with the same people that's just about the concept of life after death and consciousness and stuff like that.
Oh,
You know what? We're going to watch those, and we're going to have
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
back
definitely
on and
check
talk about those movies, buddy.
yeah.
Cool.
You have to send
Yeah,
it.
I'm very
yeah,
glad.
because the EVPs, yeah, because they we had them on last week? We were
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago. We were trying to see if you can actually believe them. Have you? Did you encounter any of them? Like, could you actually hear? Did you believe they were actually ghosts or?
So I didn't have an experience where I went and like listened or did anything like that. I'm usually just doing interviews as a director, and then the footage is usually from my interviewees. So I did sit and watch footage, and we did have a little bit of an experience where he showed me how his equipment worked. But that particular thing wasn't that impressive to me. I didn't have anything like talk to me or anything like that. But he did have footage that was impressive. Not all of it is impressive, and I'm more skeptical of this than aliens or Bigfoot or other stuff.
All right.
He had a few where he pointed out stuff to me, and I thought, oh, that is interesting. He said some of them are so clear that I could understand what it was. I heard the same words that anybody would hear. Some of them were not that way, right? Some of them were very unclear. I'm sure a lot of people would be very skeptical.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well,
if you're
Jason,
skeptical, we need to have a chat.
Yeah. Clear ones are
Jason is our
interesting.
tech guy in the group, so
He says to me, he's like, oh, and listen, on some of those ones, you can tell things even more. Like you can decipher that if it was maybe a young person or an older person, or what maybe their gender or sex was, maybe. And that was interesting because I could do that. Like I heard the voice, I heard it, it's clear as day, and I thought, wow, I wonder what that was. The easy answer is, of course, you captured some sort of an entity or a ghost or something, right?
Right.
But it could be other things, and I would ask them about that. But they were able to dismiss most of those kind of things. So
Could be. I feel like it could be just your imagination, just what you want to hear.
You want to come out on an investigation, Jenny? Come on.
Yeah, Jen. Why don't you come out?
I used to be
One time.
skeptical, Jeremy. Honest to God, I used to be skeptical. Had to see it to believe it, and you know, I'm not going to hog up the whole night talking about my story, but you know, the house that my wife and I moved into, we dealt with an actual poltergeist before getting involved with the paranormal. That's what actually got us involved into the paranormal, and then joining with Pittsburgh Paranormal in 2013. But yeah, we had an actual poltergeist. We have everything documented, evidence, EVPs, clear quad A, you know, voices, and it was insane. It was
Some of
insane.
that stuff is extremely impressive. I've always said that it'll take a ghost to like fight me or do something physical to me.
Don't say that.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Then
You don't
that's
want that to happen. No, no, no.
He was
Careful
sleeping on me,
situation.
grabbing you by the foot, pulling you out of bed or something.
Oh,
No.
jeez.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
I think it's funny. You know, that I didn't believe in, or I guess I was in denial because I have attracted spirits since I was born. But when I capture an EVP, and then I can also channel or automatic writing or anything like that. And I always put those, it's funny because it's like they fill in the puzzle pieces, because something will come across in an EVP, you know, through their voice, and then I'll write something down that goes along with it. And I can usually tell what era they're from by the language used and things like that. So it kind of all goes
That's
together for me.
interesting. I find that that kind of evidence, like, it leans towards the authenticity of those experiences.
Right. And it's, and you know, with me, it's usually has a lot to do with unsolved crimes, things like this, and some of the things that happened, you know, years ago, or even one time I was driving past a location, and randomly, you know, I hear the bandits buried the gold somewhere, and then I draw out this map. So there's things like that I don't, you know, I never even knew that existed until I and then I'll do research after the fact, so it doesn't, you know, change my.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I don't think I'm making it up, or you know, I still have to have evidence after that.
We were looking for that in the film. We didn't find a good story about that, but the question was basically, had any of these entities or experiences provided you with information that you did not have prior, and were you able to confirm that information? So yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Cool. Well, I found the video, so I'm going to try to share it with you guys. Tell me if you can hear it. Can you see it?
I can see it.
I don't think there's voice on it.
But I have a couple questions about that.
Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the tree, right? Which is harder to do fake.
Looks like it's like a triangle shape.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, what kind of aircraft would you say that was? I mean, come on.
Could be a stealth fighter.
Going that slow?
Yeah, I'm sure. But no, here,
When
you
they're
know,
that high up in
me
the
and my
sky.
brother were researching that. And on a doorbell cam, it only goes up to about 50 feet at night. So, and 30 feet during the day, 50 feet at night. And I'm sure that is way, way far away to where you couldn't understand. You couldn't. Why would you think that was a UFO if the camera didn't go that far out? That's what me and my brother came up with.
Yeah, there's no stars in it. You know.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's good. I mean, if it was on coast to coast, I guess it was legit. But I don't know. I have, when it comes down to how far the camera reaches, I have a problem with it.
That type of UFO is a common video, though, and there's been definitely authentic videos.
I was thinking
that
something.
triangle, right?
What are you laughing at, Jenny?
I'm just thinking I was going to play some bomb weight. When I seen something like that triangle shape in my backyard when we first moved here, before it was all still farmland, and it was like triangle, but it wasn't like that. To me looked squared. I mean, this was just like I could just see light a triangle, but there was lights going all the way around. It wasn't just 3 lights. So
Right.
as a film producer, can you is it that easy to fake these things? Like
Oh yeah, especially now. It used to be much harder with drones and things like that. And it's hard. Depth with film is one of the things that is difficult to convey to an audience. You know, you might be taking a picture sometimes, and you're like on the top of a mountain, and you're trying to show like this is so epic of an experience, and you take a picture, and it's a nice picture, but it has the people look at it and they don't get that feeling that you got from being on the top of the mountain. Part of that is because depth in a two-dimensional type of way is so hard to translate. So it's pretty easy to have like some sort of a drone and lights and things, and then even now with computer generated software, you know, you can even then change that.
Oh yeah, just like you know, for us computer illiterate folks that know how to just barely use it, but like things like iMovie and you know all these different programs, it's all a lot of it, you know, for us, you know, it's just click and drop, drag and drop, and here you go, special effects.
Well,
It's
isn't
like
the
holy moly.
What is that called? TGI? It's like computer
CGI. But you know, back to your EVP movie that's coming up.
Sure.
What really bugs me, because a lot of people, like I've been in the business for a long time. And
how many years?
Over 30.
Oh,
but I've had
almost 31.
30 years, brother. And I had the group since 2006. Now, a lot of people would come and let me listen to their EVPs. Now, to me, okay, a good EVP is when it's crystal clear, but a lot of them would use Audacity to eliminate noises behind it.
Sure.
I mean, the guy, he's dead, God rest his soul, but, you know, he took audio of leaves rustling, you know, making a lot of noise. And he manipulated that to where you can actually hear a voice coming out of that. And to me, a good EVP is when nothing is
right.
You know, so, and there are a lot of people out there that tried to pull that one, you know, over the wool of my eyes, but it just wouldn't happen. It has to be pure and solid, you know.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. And it is such an easy thing to fake theoretically, right? You know, you hear these things, it was supposedly recorded. They have the two things. They have also what was called a ghost box, right?
That's my boy right there, Jason. Talk to Jason on that one.
That's the one there where it's live. You're hearing it right there, right? And so I did that with the guy, and in that situation, it's a little bit more compelling in a way, but it also seems like generated sometimes, right? You feel like some of these sounds don't sound like anything. What could this be?
Right. From my experience, I use an S box, and from my experience, I know what you're talking about. You might think you hear something, and it takes some practice and time to figure out how to differentiate. You know, it's sweeping radio stations, so once in a while you'll pick something up. You think you heard something, but it was actually a station. Now I found that using a what's called a Faraday wallet or Faraday pouch blocks out all the radios, so you get more of a pure signal, and using the AM frequency range instead of the FM is a lot more beneficial. You know, when I first got it, I was a little like, okay, this is cool, we're hearing some stuff, you know, but is it legit? Until the voice of a specific person that I knew personally came through over several channels, and I was like, okay, this really works. It's giving me the chills right now just thinking about it, you know. But that just settled it for me. So, you know, once you learn to get through all the radio stuff, and if you use the Faraday wallet, you'll have a lot better results that are more, you know, natural.
Yeah, this guy I was interviewing, his name is Tony Rathman. You may know who he is. He does one of these paranormal society type things too. And he was, an expert. I'm sure he knows about the thing that you're talking about. I might have already experienced this. But what I'll say is like some of the things that we talked about, they're very, very honest. These experiences that they have, that's what convinced them. Could it be something else? Absolutely. But usually what it is that they've had some sort of an experience, kind of like what you talked about, where it was an aha moment for them. And if you didn't have that moment, it's hard to get there where they're at. But they're not like questioning it at all. They're just totally convinced after that moment.
Right. Now there's a lot of times, when we go on investigations, we'll try to debunk as much as we can, as like, floorboards or, creaks in the house or somebody, just anything, because you got half of it could be real and some of it couldn't be. So, that's our job, is to find out, are the homeowners or people just hearing things in the house they haven't heard before, or is it actually paranormal? So there's like that line, like I'm a firm believer. Sean is, I know he, definitely. And, after that moment that I have with the poltergeist, that changed my life forever in this field, which really, wanted to get, the gas going in it. And, here we are, how many years later, and just going out there trying to get as much as we can for people and help folks out, Oh,
I love those stories. I think those are the best stories. And when I'm doing those interviews and feeling the emotion from the people, like kind of thinking back on that experience and like reliving it to a certain degree, some of those are really, really compelling.
Absolutely. Sean, you there?
I want to make sure. I wanted to play the trailer to your I Want to Believe trailer.
Sure.
I don't know if this is it though. I found it on YouTube under Indie Rights Movies for free.
That's probably it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
either that or the whole movie. Maybe they've been putting our whole movies out. So.
Oh really? Well, let me get back to. I gotta share it. So where is that? The town? No, Trish needs to come back.
Yeah,
Trish,
there she is. Welcome back. Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
That's so weird. Right when y'all started talking about that, my computer, it froze, but it wouldn't even shut off. Like I held the power button down.
Okay.
Oh, cheers, man. Cheers.
It's a tea.
Okay, why isn't it playing? Can you see that?
Do you believe in UFOs?
Either it's true or somebody is playing a massive mind game.
The witnesses are telling us something completely different than what we've heard.
There are these things that are going on that we get these tiny glimpses of.
You can't not believe in UFOs.
And I have the proof.
How can you have a thought without a belief?
I want the answers.
I mean, when will we get disclosure?
Sightings are coming out weekly.
You're getting it right now.
We've got too much witness testimony.
Oh my God. Whoa, got it. I have seen the graves.
And they fundamentally changed the narrative about the UFO phenomenon.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was
That
cool.
looks like a lot of fun. It looks like you did a really good job with that.
Yeah, that's one of our better trailers. Yeah.
That's nice. That's a nice one. I like it. Definitely. You guys listening, Joni, Russell, Augie, what out there? Definitely gotta watch that. I'm gonna try to find what you guys discussed. I'm gonna try to find a couple other ones, but I think it's really cool.
So we have another UFO movie called Alien Contactee.
Alien
It is with a gentleman named Dr. Turi, and he has 3 experiences where he says that he has, personal contact, like interaction with aliens, and he tells those different stories in the movie. And he's French also, so he's very animated. So it's really interesting. And he became a psychic based on one of these experiences. So he has experience. And then after that experience, he's made all these predictions, and he does all this astrology stuff. And I also did an astrology film with him because, you know, talking to him is really interesting. And having him do my reading was like it was a great experience. I'm very into mentalism, and you know, I know about how you can be tricked, easily persuaded by action and you know, just subconscious thought that you didn't know you were getting triggered by some sort of person who's kind of leading you along this journey. But my experience with Turi was not like that. Yet he was correct about me, and it was just really interesting. It made me think maybe there's more to that too. I always dismissed it as being essentially nothing, and who knows?
So what if you had any like real personal experiences or like any particular stories that just like really struck you and convinced you that this is all, like, what was your like first moments or stories that were like, okay, I'm in?
So for UFOs, I had believed in them when I was younger, and then I kind of got dissuaded. You know, you have these experiences where you're like, oh, this story is like so compelling, and then as you kind of go down the line, you have a debunker a lot of times will spoil it for you, where they have some sort of evidence about this person where they're like, look, this is who you believe, and you know, and you're like, oh, or this thing that you think was real, well, here's a little bit more information that it wasn't real. And those moments, like, they're really hurtful, and it makes you feel like, I don't want to be deceived, and I don't want to appear naive. So I'm going to be very skeptical in pursuing this in the future. And anything that I see, I'm just going to dismiss unless, you know, something is, you know, widely accepted or something. But so some of my other films are about cannabis. I was in the cannabis industry, right? And I had a friend come over to my house, and it was really late at night, and he was from another Las Vegas, and he had driven a long way to get to me. And he was telling me about he had been listening to Coast to Coast, and he had been listening to James Gilliland on Coast to Coast. And he started talking about UFOs, and I was being a skeptic. I was like, well, what about this? And then he had all these great answers. And I remember thinking, that actually sounds reasonable. Maybe I've dismissed this subject a little early. Maybe I should be a little more open-minded that this maybe is real. And maybe not all of these things are just hogwash. You know, there's some of these that are real experiences. So, yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah, were you high?
Yeah, sure.
Do you get the munchies?
Not really anymore. Almost
No.
doesn't, you know,
What was your
Did-
favorite snack? Doritos?
Oh man,
Oh,
I
Lord.
went from like Three Musketeers,
So you mean when you get high, you don't get the munchies anymore?
almost not at all. Yeah,
Really?
Damn.
Wow.
I almost don't get high at all.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, keep going.
Not that I don't participate in getting high. That when I smoke, I just don't get high.
You don't get high.
Don't worry, I don't
Even
smoke, and I
do
get
it
the
so
munchies
much
for you.
that it just doesn't work.
Hey, Jeremy, you should do a like a little movie with Pittsburgh Paranormal Society here.
Maybe
Fly
we
you out
could.
here to Pittsburgh and do one of
Yeah, do a
Yeah,
documentary.
that'd be
They got
cool.
some really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
If you-
always open to new stories, and
Oh,
we
that's
do
good
a
stuff.
lot of films. So definitely
gosh.
keep me in mind. I'd love to do a story.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk
definitely.
about that later, and I just hope you don't charge an arm and a leg.
We'll work it out.
Okay, cool. Any of our listeners out there, would you all want to hear that? Would you all want to see that? A documentary by Jeremy for Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Come on,
There's
say
a
something in
lot
the
of-
comments.
They go to
Oh.
a lot of different places, like the Blair House.
Mhm.
What's the lake? Shawnee, Lake Shawnee.
Like Shawnee.
Got a
Yeah.
lot of different
You can come
places.
to-
You could just make a
Yeah.
documentary on my house, honestly.
Seriously, he has ghosts, and I
He
didn't
has the
believe
most
it.
haunted house in
Well, so what
Pennsylvania.
makes a good story usually is like a personal connection. So a lot of the things that you'll see, we do all kinds of different subjects, right? But most of the people that we are interviewing have some sort of an adversity or some sort of thing that people can connect to. Your story is very much that kind of thing, from being a skeptic to then having this experience to then now believing and taking part. When you can take somebody on a journey like that, that makes a good film. And a lot of the best films are about a subject, but then they also have a personal story that's connected to that subject.
Yeah, he has a lot of
Yeah, he does.
Well, we got a lot of
crazy. I was
evidence
going to
and
try to pull up some of
this
the
house is
pictures,
still active.
his poltergeist that he has.
I like when we got this house was built in 48 and our front door is just like solid oak or something. It's heavy, right?
I'm going
Well,
to try to find that video.
yeah, over the last 10 years that we've been here, it'll just undeadbolt and swing open by itself, right? Well, nobody believed me at first. So we started setting up cameras, and over the last, 10 years on different occasions, whenever it feels like it, you'll just hear click and the door just comes swinging wide open.
So interesting.
Yeah, we caught it on, we have surveillance cameras in the house. And my wife and my mom were just sitting on the couch one night. And actually, it was during the day, it was late afternoon. And you just hear click, and then the door just like somebody just walked in, but there was nobody there. That was
when I
pretty
saw
recent.
the movie Paranormal Activity and I saw them doing all that stuff, I was like, oh my God, brilliant.
Yeah, right.
The stuff that is the most compelling to people because they've had experiences kind of like you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever we go on an investigation, it's like, a lot of people they want to see pictures, they want to hear audio, they want to see video, right? But 95% of an investigation, if you've never been on one, is the personal experience that you get when you go on an investigation.
Yeah. So our movie Aliens versus Bigfoot, that's what a lot of the people talk about is you're going out to look for Bigfoot, but you're also kind of camping. And, it's this whole other, bonding experience with the people that you're doing it with.
Right.
It's just, and you're in these beautiful places. It's a really enjoyable experience, far more so than finding Bigfoot or whatever.
What would
hear all the creaks in the middle of the night in the woods? You're like, what was
all
that?
the weird animal sounds and stuff, man.
Turned out to be a baby raccoon.
A lot of my experiences growing up the mountains, I was outdoors all the time, and I was in the woods and away from cities and things like that. And so that's where I encountered, UFOs and cryptids. And then of course, after, for instance, you're talking about personal experiences. Well, just one of them right before I had a heart attack was when I saw this giant, like 20-foot, angel creature, which may be alien. I don't know. And that's when I developed, I had always had intuitive, been kind of clairvoyant stuff. But after that was when my psychic abilities and astrology and science and all kinds of things developed and that was 3 years ago. So became more enhanced, I guess. So you said one of yours, one of the people you interviewed had kind of the same.
Yeah.
And so that's relatable. So that's true. And, and it probably helps people. There's probably people all over that have these stories, but nobody, when I share things like that with people I know, they think I'm crazy. So, so a lot of people just don't share anything because that's the impression, most people get. So I think documentaries like that are incredibly helpful because then people start coming forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of our more popular ones, and it breaks a lot of rules in filmmaking that normally would make it not a successful film, but it has been successful despite all those things. And I think part of it is because that experience is so profound, and people that have had that experience, they definitely share a unique bond. It's really interesting to see them kind of communicate. And people that haven't, but are sometimes skeptical or believers, there's this powerful connection to the concept of if this could be or could not be real, and we all want to have that experience where right? Now it's no longer a question.
With me, I think I'm a photographer as well. So I actually, unknowingly, now that I look back throughout the years, I had documented these things up to that day or whatever. You know, I had caught all these things. They're kind of, maybe it was warnings before I was intuitive, or before I paid attention to those signs. And, you know, leading up to just weird occurrences and things. And I think that's another thing. A lot of people just don't pay attention to those things.
Oh, absolutely. And I also want to say, like, as you're doing these things and you have, I've had interviews where I walk out from it very convinced, and then you don't have some of the evidence that you can then show to other people. And it's hard to convey that without, they say, oh, profound claims require profound evidence, right? And so until I just know there's people that will never believe Bigfoot until there's a body of Bigfoot, and then they've analyzed it, and science has now said this is definitely Bigfoot.
Jeremy, I found your one. I think it's you. Your trailer for Alien versus Bigfoot. Was Mike Bear in it? Is this the right one? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play that. Let me just.
I thought you almost said Predator there. Jenny.
Wait a minute, I gotta.
About to.
What did you say?
It seemed like you were about to say Predator. Alien versus.
Yeah, I think had a better title. I've talked to my partner about that.
Let me pull it up. Just give me a second. Okay. Oh, I guess I have to hit play, huh?
That might help.
Deeper reality that we exist in than what we're sold every day.
I don't know. That's a good question. What would the general populace be more skeptical of, Bigfoot or aliens?
I think actually it would be quite interesting to look at those communities. So not looking so much at UFOs or Bigfoot, but at the people that study them.
I really think that it's okay that people go out in search of these things and want to know more about space and want to know more about life beyond where we are.
I love exploring that plane. It's color. It's joy. It's mystery.
Bigfoot community tends to be a little more grounded. A lot of these guys are just guys that live out in the woods.
The biggest difference between cryptozoology and ufology is that a lot of UFO research is sort of historical, going through files, speaking with witnesses. Cryptozoology, because it's the study of unknown animals, there's a great deal of research done out in the field, in forests, in woods, in lakes, mountains.
One common thread is extreme dedication. And these things aren't easy.
The world that we're presented on TV is not reality.
If I ever get abducted by aliens, I'm going to ask them, what's the deal with Bigfoot? What's going on with that?
That's great. I liked it. Definitely.
Yeah, so Jeremy, do you think a lot of people put Bigfoot and UFOs together? Like when people claim to see Bigfoot, there's always a UFO nearby or vice versa. What's your thoughts on that?
So I haven't seen the data or like a map that really showed me that, where I was convinced that it's always that way, or even that that's happening the large majority of the time. But I have heard that in numerous interviews where people will say that Bigfoot dematerialized and there was a UFO that somehow
interdimensional.
Yeah, and I heard another great theory that I thought was interesting is that the Bigfoots are the aliens, and that's like some sort of like it's their durable suit for being on Earth. It's almost like a exoskeleton type of like thing, like they're robots.
A lot of hair.
Yeah, and that they dematerialize and go back up into the thing as the aliens, and then off they go.
Does Bigfoot like beef jerky? Like Jack Links.
I love all that stuff.
Definitely.
And commercials, all those things are hilarious.
Oh. Is there anything you want to add?
You know, he was vegetarian.
Jeremy, before we let you go, is there anything else you want to No.
Not really. I mean, like the best way to find my films is to either type my name into your Amazon search if you're using Amazon or wherever you're streaming. Usually that will pop up all my movies if they're on that platform. Or you can just go to my website, and then we have links to all the various biggest platforms where you can find them.
That's
Nice.
a good.
Yeah, I'm going to check out those
Definitely.
ones you were telling us about
The
earlier.
EVP one. What was that called again?
The EVP one is called Sounds of the Dead.
I couldn't
That's
find the
such a cool
trailer.
name.
It's
I like
not
it.
out yet, is it?
It is out. I haven't added it to my website because it's just out on YouTube, but you
I
can
didn't see.
find
I
it.
didn't see any.
That's a good title. I like it. Sounds of the Dead.
In the next day or two, I'm going to add it to my website. So I'll have the Sounds of the Dead. I like that title also.
Yeah,
and then
good one.
we have Life After, which is kind of a joint project with that same group of people.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't find the trailer for Sounds of the Dead.
I'm sure it's up there somewhere.
Is it under?
It's probably on, I think. Well, Indie Rights has, I think, Life After. So that will be
I just want to see if I can.
the same place where you were getting that other one. But
Yeah. Sounds of the Dead. Sounds of the Dead. I'm gonna put it under your. Would it be under your
it's
your
on my
website?
IMDb page, probably. If you go to my page on imdb.com, just type my name into there. You get all the films, and then usually the trailers are right
Let
there.
me see if I can find it before I let you go.
Sure.
What is it called?
IMDb.com.
You know, I have one of those, and I don't even know how to spell it.
Yeah.
It kind of spells itself, Jenny.
I know. Well,
IMDb.
whatever. I'm trying to do 3 different things while you're sitting there.
So we also have a bullying movie that just came out. And so we do a lot of topics that are not paranormal related. We have a female pro wrestling film that I'm really proud of. We have a mixed martial arts film that's about very amateur people and why they compete when they're not having like professional success with it. What do they get out of it? We have a couple of mindfulness documentaries that I think are extremely important for people and could really help so many people with these problems, maybe help people get off medications that they're taking, that kind of thing. We have the cannabis movies that are mostly about medical cannabis, but I have a new one coming out that was 8 years in the making, and that's how I became a filmmaker, was, documenting this event that I was throwing in the cannabis industry internationally. And it was a hash competition, and it was kind of illegal. So it's a really interesting.
I found the trailer, so let's see if we can. Can you see that, guys?
Yep.
I wish I could make it bigger. Wait a minute. Let me try to make it bigger. It's hard to. I don't know how to make it bigger on this one. Okay. It's slow.
You have something I want.
Oh, Baby Yoda's in there.
Imagine.
This isn't it. No, this is mad. I was going to say, what?
Well, they got free advertising.
And something is going on.
I had read about EVPs, really felt drawn to it.
11 years ago, I was a complete skeptic.
There's enough compelling evidence out there that we should be taking this seriously.
I lay down in here.
We're back. The evidence that is showing up today far outweighs anything that's been shown before.
Oh, what is this? Something beyond the physical body.
Once you open that door, you can't close it.
Is there anyone here?
Cool.
Nice. I'll definitely check
Is
that
there
out.
anything in the castle that we should be afraid of?
Okay, I gotta turn it off now. I'm getting the hang of this. Don't worry. It's kind of hard doing 3 different things. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Jeremy.
tonight.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's great
to have.
talking
Very
to you.
interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely
Keep in touch.
people-
We can set something up with PPS.
Yeah,
Check
please.
out those.
Absolutely.
Definitely worth checking out. I'll tell you that.
We all
Thank you
can
very
go to
much.
Kansas. We can all go to Kansas.
We'll click our ruby slippers and teleport right over.
Definitely. Well, thanks again for
Thanks,
joining
Jeremy.
us tonight,
Thanks.
Jeremy.
Have a
My
good night,
pleasure.
man.
Cool.
Awesome show. Awesome.
Yeah, that
I
was
have.
great.
It's really cool, and I got another video. I just want to before we about UFOs and alien abductions. So I think you'll enjoy this one. Most like you will definitely enjoy this one if I can pull it up. Oh, see, here we go. I can't. It's hard for me to do this because I'm looking at 3 different screens. Okay, where'd it go?
You need a co-producer for you.
Yeah, it's hard to do all this. Seriously, it is. It's not that easy. Wait a minute.
Your son will help you out, would he?
Oh no, he can't. He's busy. My kids are very busy. They're not like me. Okay, I just lost it. I had it here. Okay, wait. I have too many windows up. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, just give me a second. Now I got to go back to StreamYards.
Wait nice and patiently.
Now I got to go back to StreamYards. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, where
So, Trish, do you have any interesting projects coming up?
I do. I'm working on. I completely changed the direction of my blog and website, and I'm still trying to rebrand all of that. So that's interesting. Everybody wants me to go back to the start of how Savage Roots began and kind of tell my story about that, including which includes like literally all of my paranormal experiences. So and it's exciting because like I was telling Jeremy, I now looking back, I had way more evidence than I ever thought. Plus, I want to go back to and revisit a lot of these places, that I've intuitively been drawn to now that I'm more aware of, I guess, receiving messages and communicating with spirits and things like that. So, because I had no idea even what I was doing, or even that I could do that when a lot of the times, when I went to those places. So years ago.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play it. I found it. Sorry. Let me just pull it up.
Thank you, Jenny.
Can you see it?
Can
you see the screen?
You can hit play, yes.
Yeah, I will. I just want to make it bigger.
Relax.
Yeah, we can hear it.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm
Just
Amy
hit play.
Morris with the NSA, and this is Special Agent Kirkpatrick. Now, we know you've all been through quite an ordeal, so we appreciate you making the trip to Washington on such short notice.
Yes, you 3 experienced the first verified case of alien abduction, so naturally you are of great interest to the United States government.
It's nuts, man. I mean, we're just small town buds who saw a UFO in the woods. I mean, now we're hanging out with the government.
Okay. Now, after the blue light pulled you into the spacecraft, what is your next memory?
I came to and saw a beautiful being made of like a beautiful calming light.
Yeah, same here. That being touched my head, and I felt every emotion in its purest form. It was amazing. I cried, sir.
Hey, and you, Miss Rafferty?
Wow. What floor were you guys on? I woke up in a dirty metal dome and 40 little gray aliens watched me pee in a steel bowl. And they took the bowl, walked out.
Interesting. Were these beings also bathed in light?
No, they were gray with big fat eyes, little mouths. They just stared while I peed. I don't think I was dealing with the top brass.
And how did they instruct you to urinate? Was that telepathically?
No. I woke up, I had to pee like a camel. So I started peeing, and one of the gray aliens slapped the wall and pointed at the bowl. So I got the hint. I kind of walked over the bowl, peed in it.
Yes, I see. Now, when you all awoke, were you clothed?
I was wrapped in like a robe made out of warm, glowing energy.
Sounds like Astar
like
Command.
a blanket made of pure love.
Yeah, a little different for me. I had my shirt I came in with, but my pants were gone. So my coot was out.
Oh,
Porky
jeez.
pigging it in a drafty dome.
Now, did you all stay on the same ship the entire time? Or?
Well, you know, my body did, but my consciousness was shown what lies beyond time and space. It was so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm just crying about just thinking about it a little bit.
Do you need a tissue?
What? No, sorry. I'll use my shirt.
The alien showed my mind the furnace of all creation, what we would call God.
What? These fancy cats are seeing God. Meanwhile, I'm starting phase 2, which is me sitting on a stool while 40 gray aliens take turns gently batting my knockers.
Oh my God.
Did y'all get the knocker stuff?
No knocker stuff, sorry. And did you feel threatened, Miss Rafferty?
No. They were real respectful about it. They were in a line, and then one by one they'd step up, slap a knocker, and then go to the end of the line, wait for another turn. It didn't hurt. It was like, I'm sorry, pardon me, Sharon. Kind of like that. No harm, no foul.
It hurts. Perhaps they were collecting biological data.
No, that felt super off the books. I swear to God, there was one gray alien by a door, just kind of. I think he was the lookout. Look, it wasn't my worst Wednesday night.
And how did the aliens return you all to Earth?
I was carried down gently. He's crying. I was carried down gently in a cradle of light, placed into a soft bed of wildflowers.
Yeah. The light laid me down like a baby in a meadow near my house. I was smiling and weeping, tears of joy, sir.
All right, well, now this missed me a little bit. Because my grand exit was out of what was basically like a big airplane toilet, okay? I dropped down 7 feet onto the roof of a Long John Silver's. They threw out my pants separately. They missed the roof. My slacks landed in a frickin' pine tree 30 feet away. So I had to just chill up there with my damn coot and prune shoe hanging till the place opened up.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, you think, Todd?
Well, we'd like to take you guys for physical examinations now.
Oh no,
We're
we're gonna leave it there.
Possibly. I'm sorry.
No, don't be. Just be gentle because they're pretty banged up.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just thought it was funny. Are you mad?
No.
You sure?
The one girl kind of looks like you, Jenny.
Which one?
The one
the one that got dropped onto the Long John Silvers.
This one, the Long John Silver. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
If you had short hair.
Oh, whatever. Oh, her. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get it out of here. Oh, okay. Stop sharing. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I have some more stuff to talk about, so don't think I'm done with you.
Oh, boy.
Okay, we're going back to what we were talking about before. I was just combugulated or whatever. Okay. I'm not stoned, and I'm just going to go right here. Okay. Now, there's been a UFO spotted repeatedly in the sky above southern France, okay? The object was seen by people in Montpellier. I have no idea what this word is. And Dora, in southern France, okay? Local weather service compiled a video of different UFOs, and they say that this is legit, guys. And I wanted to see if I could pull up a video on it, but Shutterfly. I want to show you You can't really. To me, I can't see a darn thing. I don't. My son's texting me. I guess I'm embarrassing him. Maybe.
I just got a message that our stream came up as unavailable.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Well, it's over.
It dropped
Don't
off
worry
YouTube.
No, it's okay. Oh, we're on, so it doesn't matter. Wonder why.
I don't know.
Well, like mine froze for a long time. It wouldn't come back.
We're banned. They banned us, I guess.
Oh, you just got banned from YouTube for that lady dropping an F-bomb right there subtly in the
I didn't hear
in
no
the video.
F-bomb.
It was there.
Was it?
No.
I didn't hear any F-bomb. That's okay.
I don't know.
That's not why you got kicked off. Probably because I don't know why. Who knows why? Okay. Anyways, back to the. I have some videos. What?
Well, before I forget, I was going to say what I thought of for whatever reason during that video. I have taken pictures or attempted to take pictures of normal planes actually in the sky, and I've lived around a lot of military bases, but there's certain planes that my camera, I have a digital professional camera, will not take pictures of, which is interesting because I was thinking, that could be the same concept as far as evidence goes of UFOs. Maybe there's something that blocks that from digital cameras or smartphones or whatever, So
I don't know.
It's an interesting thing I came across when people say, why isn't there any evidence? Well,
there is a lot of evidence.
Well, right. But I'm saying it literally multiple times this has happened and it wouldn't take a picture. So.
I have a woman. I tried to get her on the show for the second half, but apparently I'm not sure. She chickened out. She sent me tons of videos. So let me just show you these. I'm just going to try to pull. Let me see if I can pull this one.
So apparently we got a policy violation on YouTube.
For what?
I don't know.
I always play YouTube videos on here.
I don't know the rules.
I don't know the rules.
Joe might be able to help us out.
I don't know.
Later.
I know we can play videos because I've always played. I think I played a couple different ones from YouTube. Remember, the only thing is I could never get the volume.
I think it's a time limit. You can only play a certain
I didn't know that.
limit a clip before it's a.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, now I know.
Yeah, but they dropped our stream.
Oh well. Well, we're on Facebook, so let's see. Well, I see. I can't talk and check Facebook messages and do this at one time. So let me. Okay, where is Logan? Logan. Her name is Logan. I'm gonna try to pull up this one. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. Then I gotta go to the StreamYards, and I gotta share it.
Policy violations.
Oh, who cares, Jason? Let's just do the show because
Jenny, come on, we can't have this.
It's probably because I played too long. It was too, like Trish said, it was too long. Well,
I know with music videos and stuff, you can only do a certain.
Yeah, well.
What do you think, Sean?
It's just for this show. It's not for the whole time.
Oh, it's back on.
Is it? That's because, yeah. So I don't think it had anything to do with that.
I think we're being probed by the government, to be honest with you.
Maybe.
And I'm serious about it. No shit. I believe that.
It could be. Okay, wait. Let's see. Okay, where was I? Go to the StreamYard share. I hope this works. This is so. That would be Facebook or how did we do that? Do you remember how we did the how we did the videos from Messenger? See, that's hard to do. Do you remember how we did that?
Nope.
Let me see.
Oh, also, I was going to say MUFON has a live UFO tracker on their website, which is kind of cool sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the United States. I'm
on Reddit, and there's a UFO group on there that every now and then that I'll get some messages on what they see. But you know what? Whenever this guy he posts something or like he's a UFO picture or whatever, they just rip him apart left and right on that. And it's just, why can't people just accept what people believe? You know what I mean? Why do they have to be so angry? You know, why?
Oh, because everybody's angry.
Right.
Unfortunately. Okay, I think this is it right here. I hope here it is. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's any bot, is there?
Maybe it was next page.
And she has
It's
tons
so
of them.
tiny, I can't see. Hard
It's
to
right here.
see it.
She has tons of them.
What is it?
That's a lantern.
It could be that. It could be a drone.
That looks like a lantern because it's float. Yeah,
Somebody just got married over the hill and they set them off.
could have been.
It could be a lantern.
That's a lantern.
Let me just stop it because there's another ones that she has.
I mean, what's everybody's thoughts on, because everybody's having experiences and seeing more UFOs. How do we know that there's just not more people out there to, know how to fake the stuff to make it look real for somebody's 3 neighborhoods over?
Right. I feel there's a lot of fakeness going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, a legitimate UFO sighting for me would be out in the woods and just looking up and just see this thing hover over me. And then to me, that's.
So if you were in the woods and you saw a UFO and then they did some things like probage, would you tell anybody?
If I remember, I mean, what's wrong?
Lord.
You know what? What are they going to get out of me? Just an empty brain with no brain cells?
Probably hemorrhoids.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know.
No, he ain't rude.
He's not. You don't think so?
I don't think it's just in the woods, because I live in the city, and I know this past summer it was interesting between here, Topeka and Lawrence, Kansas. There were probably over 100 people one weekend that reported seeing something falling from the sky and UFOs over a specific highway right outside the city. And some of them had evidence too. And then it just got it disappeared once it got to the media. So,
Well, you're close to New Mexico, though, right?
well, not really. But
she's in the Kansas.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the United States, but we are on specific ley lines.
Is it coming
And
close?
I believe that those allow UFOs to travel easier, based on geographical locations.
Do you think they follow the ley lines? I mean, it's just
Yes,
like being
absolutely.
on a streetcar where they're just on a certain line. Do you think they just follow that line?
I don't know if they follow that line, but I know, it could. Those could be their highways for all we know. But I know that, I've lived in Colorado before, Kansas. There's certain places that definitely have more activity than others, regardless of whether there's military bases there or not.
Mm-hmm. Jason, your thoughts?
I agree. And, there's a lot of places that, are more active than others. And, it depends on team people like us, on different teams for the UFOs, teams for the paranormal, and, Bigfoot to go and track them down and just gather as much evidence as we can.
I mean, I was talking to a couple people from MUFON when we were up there that weekend doing our presentation. And I wouldn't mind going out with them for a Friday night and them coming out with us on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
That would be
need to
pretty
get Jenny
cool.
out there on an investigation.
So hopefully that works out right. Because if you look at it, UFOs and ghosts are paranormal.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
So we should change our name to Pittsburgh Para-UFormal Society.
Never, brother, never.
I know. Also with at least with witches, anytime there's other elements, water, power grids, trains, crossroads, things like that, there's a lot more energy there. There's a lot, and a lot of those are elements. So I think it's the same with UFOs and cryptids. It's maybe the water has something to do with it. Maybe the power grids, things like that.
I want to play this again because I think it's fascinating. I know you guys, I don't know if you believe it, but
I honestly, my own opinion, I don't. It's too far away.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of. You guys in the audience listening in the chat, let us know what you think of this because I totally think it's. I think it's something. I just don't think that it's too uniform unless it's a drone.
Could be a drone.
But I think that one's one of the government ones because it's all, that's been not just on that one thing. There's been numerous that the triangle ones are specifically have only because there have been eyewitnesses see those more often coming from bases, right. I think.
And she's got a point. If that was in the United Kingdom, there's a couple Air Force bases, I do believe, over there.
But I just want to let you know, if you guys are having a little lightheadedness, you might want to try some instant breakfast drinks by Carnation. It will totally quench your. You crack me up, Jason. You know that you're such a jack.
Yeah. Try investigating with them. Try spending the weekend at a haunted house with them.
Oh, it's funny.
I would have to take some Xanax with me, a couple fentanyl pills probably. But these are really good. Carnation come up with these. And these are really good because they have so much protein in it and hardly any carbs. And you can drink it hot or cold. Have you tried it yet, Jason?
By judging of the box, no. I just got these today.
Well, you should have some for breakfast.
I'm going to tear these up tomorrow morning. God bless the rest of my day.
Well, you know why? Well, thank you so much, Carnation, for sponsoring the second hour.
Thank you, Carnation.
I like it because there's 13 grams of protein. There's twice the amount of calcium. And there's 21 vitamins and minerals. And there's only 150 calories. And the nice part is the carbs aren't that high. So
yeah, but does it fill you up?
If you're trying to watch your weight, it will.
But the servings aren't that big, so it's kind of like hot chocolate packets or something. Like I would have to have 2 or 3 of them in the morning.
On the back, yeah, you could probably on the back. There's ingredients for chocolate oatmeal shake. Now, to me, that sounds really gross. Having a shake that
I
has
got milk chocolate protein pancakes on the back.
No, the pancakes sound pretty good.
There you go.
I would try. I would try the pancakes before I would do the oatmeal because it's nasty thinking about it. So we got that was the one headline, and we have another headline that I would like to talk about, Augie. Okay, if you don't mind. Now, there's one back 4 days ago. 4 days ago, there was a spike in UFO sightings. Now, when Jeremy was saying that it could be that the military, I don't know. Why would the military do that? Why would they come out now and say, "Oh, yeah, we believe in UFOs, but it's really us"? Like, why would they change it around?
Well, didn't we kind of touch base on that a while ago? In the sense of, there more people were, believing it or getting involved with it. So maybe they're letting it out for that purpose, or there could be something bigger brewing behind closed doors that we don't know about, and they need something to distract everybody.
Yeah. Well,
look what they did. They just signed a bill, did they not? And so they figure if they throw UFOs out there, it would take people's minds off of the bill that they signed.
So I have a video that I would like to play this. Let me just go. I'm going to put the volumes off of it. So let me just go to escape and let's pull this video up. So give me a chance. I'm going to do it. Just bear with me. Okay, spike. Okay, I'm not. Okay, can you see that, guys?
Yep.
Let
me see if I can get it to play.
This video from his Ring camera. And that is not the only interesting thing people
That's
have.
a bug.
Oh, is that the same one?
At 6, Fox 35's Elena Shirazi tells us about a spike in UFO sightings.
Oh, is that the same sighting?
For decades, flying saucers were just a tagline, but now UFOs have become a regular sighting.
I've watched it maybe 100 times now, and I've taken screenshots and blown it up.
Palm Coast resident William Fuentes describes video caught on his home security camera
another
at
one.
3 a.m.
Looks
the
like an
startling
orb.
video shows
Yeah.
circles of light soaring in the air, twinkling mysteriously
That
in
is
the
not
night
a
sky.
lantern.
Is it drones or is it the bird or bats or, everything goes through your mind. But in the end, I really couldn't explain it.
Sightings like this make people ask the age-old question: are we alone in the universe?
Can I say something?
Let me
I
pause
think
it. Wait.
There's a possibility.
What?
If you look at that picture of those so-called two flying saucers, I wonder if there's a, Jason, help me out with this. The camera lens on it is actually making it too, because they're almost identical.
So do you think
that and the it happens a lot with cameras, and especially with certain night vision. If you don't have very bright IR lights and such, you can end up with things like what you're looking at. It could be like a duplicate or stuff that's not there just because the camera's tricks of the camera, I guess.
So you don't believe that this is legit security camera?
I mean, it's a security camera.
Sightings
Sure.
like this make people ask the
But
age-old.
look how identical they are. It's just like even the tail on them. It's so identical.
No, let's watch the rest of it.
Events are happening because of aliens. That is, everybody's hoping that these are aliens and not just some weather phenomena.
The National UFO Reporting Center says there have been 245 new UFO reports through March 30th. In 2020, there were 7,200 plus UFO sightings. That's 1,000 more
That's
sightings
a lot of
than in
sightings.
2019.
I mean, I would have claimed those as
And
orbs
what was
before
once
you.
a
There it is.
one-time story turned into a bombshell. Over the past few years, we have seen a new level of acknowledgement from the government. Thousands of UFO documents from the CIA were recently obtained. The Department of Defense and the U.S. Navy also confirmed investigations and sightings.
Whenever people are realizing that, this was a weather balloon or it was some atmospheric optics phenomena, then it is just not that interesting anymore, right? So all the interesting cases are the ones where you don't find them.
See, I
And
would
there's
try to play it
actually a
off
Space
more
Coast
before you,
UFO group out here that devotes their
pause it.
time into investigating this.
What did you say, Jason?
Like those two things are more easily played off as like orbs rather than UFOs.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't believe they're orbs.
So you think it's just a lens cap?
It could be something to do with that and bugs.
Could be a
like
bug.
I said, like I said, with the night vision not being really bright, you get a lot of manipulations in your video. As I've found that out myself, doing our investigations. I've tried using just a camera IR, then I've used top quality lights, and the difference is immense. The stuff that you catch with the low light compared to the high light, it's I don't know. I'm not sold
If
on
you
it.
would look at
Twice
Jason's,
a month. For now, on the Space Coast, Alina Shirazi,
Let me
Fox
turn this
35 News.
What were you going to say?
well, if you look at Jason's night vision compared to that, that's nothing. Nothing. I disown that one. That's
Yeah, it's like I've got some outdoor security cameras too, and the night vision, it's easy to manipulate stuff in there. That's why if you want to go ghost hunting with them or whatever, you add extra lights to it to eliminate all the camera noise.
Yeah, let me end that turns. I forgot. Let me get that off there. Trish sent me a article.
I have another one too. They have a video over, I believe.
I'm trying to pull up the video.
Topeka.
I gotta close some of these
And
windows.
these are on the local news stations that they have played these videos. So
I'm trying to play this one. Just give me a second.
I think that one was what was the date? It was this year.
Things slowing down here. I don't know. I'm not sure why. The internet's
The UFOs.
UFOs.
maybe
Government.
The government's listening in on you right now, Jenny.
could be. That's probably why it took us off Facebook.
I guarantee it.
Were you looking at pressure cookers and backpacks?
No, but this will not load. I don't know why. The one you sent me won't load.
I'm telling you, it's just me, and that's why my computer froze and I can't.
That's weird.
It's almost a
I
full
just
moon.
sent another one too. So
Yeah, I'm
that-
trying to
that's
pull
probably
that
not-
one up too.
And that is from, I think, both of those. Well,
Yeah,
the
these are. Yeah, a couple of days ago. Okay, this one's pulling up.
that one
I-
is from Fox 4, I believe.
It won't let me. I'm trying to. It's making me watch the commercial, and it won't let me. I'm gonna wait for
care
the.
about you, and that's why Devon James
Skip.
wins.
Okay, here we go. Can you see that?
This is
Yeah, I see it.
so. This video was on the news. It's from their website.
Now that's interesting.
That looks like a sphere.
And this was
Like a saucer.
actually witnessed by multiple people, but this was the best video I guess they had.
There you go. Now, see, I can accept that as a UFO.
And then the other link I sent her that won't play was stating that Kansas City was known all over the world as one of the most active, or that
And
had
what-
some of the most.
And why do you think that, Trish?
Like I still believe it's the ley lines. I think that's for whatever reason I think that makes even with cryptids, Topeka, Kansas City, the Midwest has always been a hot spot for those things. So I think it's easier for interdimensional travel. I think it's easier for whatever reason for UFOs, or maybe they're just more easily seen here because we don't have mountains. We don't have that many forests. We don't.
That's true.
We're in the plains. We're in the flatland, So, and people don't have anything to do here. We're always outside. So,
I think for Pennsylvania, did we not make it into the top 5 of where there's a lot of cryptids and UFOs, Bigfoot? I read something like that before.
well, it's the same. So. We've talked before about the triangles, right? On different locations. So Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, those places, that's all same concept. Midwest, you go north towards Chicago. What's the triangle up there? There's another one up there. Also by the Great Lakes, in Michigan. There's so many more. So I believe that's another thing as well with the triangles.
I got to ask Joe that question about the ley lines, if that's like their highways. When I see him talk to him again. I'm sure he will. Why is everybody so quiet? We got to keep talking here.
No, I'm just looking for a video.
It's like listening to that soothing voice of yours, Sean.
You like that? Did it put you to sleep?
You're putting us all to sleep.
I don't know. I just think
So I know. I was going to say before, this summer before it was on the news about some of these sightings and things. Of course, I always know. Both times they were reported. My security system, the motion sensors were tripped and my burglar alarm went off. I wasn't home, but since I attract these interdimensional beings, it was just interesting that it happened on the same exact, and it was the same case all over town. Once I went back and I looked up, police scanners and things like that, there were car alarms going off. So definitely something was happening at that time in the entire city. It wasn't just a bunch of crazy people on the highway saying they saw something. There were also electrical problems. There were, glitches in security systems and things like that. So I thought that was an interesting correlation as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it was last weekend. I heard not only did I hear it, a couple of different people heard it. It was like a loud bang, like a sonic boom. I don't know if you guys heard it.
I didn't hear it.
Everybody's,
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it was really loud. It's
But
like
didn't you have one of those a long time ago, about 6-7 months ago, the sonic boom?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Because you
Jamie
brought
talking
Stan
about
Gordon on to talk
I
about
think
it.
we heard another. I wonder if he has anything on his website. I have to go look because he always has UFO stuff. I was
He
trying to
mentioned-
get him to come back on the show, but he's so busy. So busy.
All I know is that, like I say, being on this show, starting off, I never really knew much about UFOs, but being with Jenny for almost a year and a half, I do believe them. But for me, Trish, is that the UFO actually has to land in my backyard so I can see it. I know that sounds funny, but that's
No,
how I am.
I'm the same way.
And that's the same way with an alien too. I need to shake the alien's hand. And because me and Jason both have seen ghosts, so we know they exist. But for me, I really need to shake hands with an alien or see the spaceship come down in my yard. And,
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
oh, they're there.
Sean magically disappears.
Right.
Talking
He's like,
November 14th, he posted a low-level UFO activity reported in Pennsylvania during October and November. Low-level UFO activity reported from this is from Stan Gordon. There's been a number of UFO incidents reported during October and November 2021 from areas of Pennsylvania. Low-level UFO encounters have been reported from Butler, Fayette, Westmoreland counties. Other UFO sightings have reported taken all over the state, including eastern part of Pennsylvania. He said he's still gathering information on these reports.
But nothing in Allegheny County.
He just said Butler, Fayette, and Westmoreland. And he
Fayette
also
and Westmoreland's pretty close.
Yeah, and he also said that October 24th, 2021, Mount Pleasant, they spotted a cloud-like UFO making erratic movements.
Is that because their zip code is 15666?
Oh, okay. Then on October 29th, there was giant flying creatures observed on Route 30 in Pennsylvania between Greensburg and Latrobe, PA. And that is freaking creepy. Somebody sketched it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Jason, because as you all are talking about these, and it's come up before. It's interesting how me specifically, you all chose me as co-host because a lot of the places, the names of the places mirror the places that you all investigate or that things have happened. Lake Shawnee, that's a huge one. That we have a Lake Shawnee here that things happen at.
That's weird.
Westmoreland, that's a big one in Kansas.
Oh,
That's the
that's
same
great.
thing. Topeka zip code is 666. So
That's wild.
Yeah, they call what is it, Mount Pleasant? They call it Helltown.
Right.
That's
not too far from me. That's right down the highway. About 10
we
minutes.
have a Pleasantville, Pleasanton, that there were just Mothman sightings a month or two ago here. So
the Mothman does not hang out in Kentucky. It goes all over the place, right?
I thought he was from Virginia. or
Supposedly,
West Virginia.
he's from West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Pleasantville?
He's a traveler.
Pleasantville, West Virginia. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Pleasantville.
Point Pleasant.
Maybe it is Point Pleasant. Point Pleasant.
I thought that was in Kentucky. I don't know why.
sure there's
There
a
you go.
couple.
Pull those pants up. You feel better?
Yeah, dude. Hey, I had the mic on all night, off and on.
I
if you were
noticed. I don't know
wondering.
what you were doing over there.
I did not want to have another preview like I did
The
last
stomach.
week. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh.
What are you gonna do? You just
Did
took
you eat
some
something after
Tums or
that?
something.
Oh man, I was in pain.
Did you take some Tums?
Yeah, I did. I did really. And I mean, it's starting up. It has to be my attic. Trishes or anything floating behind my back.
There's always something floating behind your back.
No, I need to know
It's
from
on my back.
Trish. Is there something?
I have not noticed tonight. No.
Damn, and you didn't notice last night either. Last week.
No.
Damn.
Did you see
Last night.
anything floating behind me?
That little brick wall was flying
Yeah,
around.
I know.
Is there anything floating in front of me by chance?
Yeah, the little puppy.
Oh, he's so cute. This will be all fixed next week. I said I was remodeling my office because it was getting too cluttered that I couldn't think. Do you ever get like that everything's too cluttered and you just you got to unclutter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my whole life.
Who's on next week, Jen?
I don't have anybody, so if you guys
You know what? If it's 2 days before Thanksgiving, why don't we have a gratitude, show for an hour? What we're grateful for.
Oh, sure. I'm grateful to be grateful.
I mean, what do you think, audience?
They say,
Come on, Augie, give me your opinion.
I think
bud.
we should do ASMR.
What the hell is that?
I told you what ASMR is.
I don't know what it is. You didn't tell
Okay,
me.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do some right now.
Oh,
But I
here
have
we
to
go.
change. I have to change my thing.
Oh, so speaking of, I really should have looked that up before because it's something that I found very interesting while doing research last year. In the it was 1800s at some point, there was a documented in some local small town newspaper write-up in Kansas, I'll have to find it, a crash, a UFO crash. And there were, people found multiple journals from the 1800s of the same location in Western Kansas. So I thought that was really interesting that it went all the way back to, Old West times. And it was just, people on a cattle drive, which I could see.
Cattle drive.
Well, going across, they always came up from Texas or down and being out on the open plains, you can see the stars so clear here compared to a lot of
Beautiful.
So,
You got all that extra.
so maybe it is something about here that it's just they're easier to see with human eyes opposed to having the pollution, because there aren't that many big cities in Kansas. We have Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita, but that's it. Everything else is pretty much country. It's smaller towns. So,
It's all flat out there too, right?
for the most part, we have hills, the plains and Flint Hills, but we don't have huge forests and mountains and things like that. So
Can you hear that?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to explain to you what ASMR is. Can you hear it? Does it sound different when I change the mic?
Not really.
What?
No? Doesn't
No.
sound any different?
No.
No?
Not at all.
How about now? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
That's ASMR.
Oh, okay.
To make you sleepy.
I can talk low.
That's not making me sleepy at all.
No, not
You're
at
supposed to whisper like, tonight we're going to talk about some UFOs and some ghost stories tonight. Can you hear that now?
Yeah, I heard that.
If we did that for a show, everybody would be turning the volumes up, and then when something loud comes on, it scared the crap out of everybody.
Go to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, we have an open calendar. I have a lot of stuff in December.
Ooh.
But nothing's for next week. It's very hard to get them now. I mean, I think because we have to start going over stuff that we already
I always
did.
wondered, why don't we start like cryptids? We haven't done one of them in a long time.
Wasn't Bigfoot a cryptic?
Cryptid, we can go, what, Thunderbirds, whatever, Dogman, something.
We just talked about Dogman last week, didn't we?
What the hell's that?
UFO I found. Can you tell? So
It's a
this
UFO.
is
She's getting abducted right now.
oh,
Dude, Jen, are you okay?
no, it's getting to be the bewitching hour.
Did you have too much carnation?
No, I kind of cut back on my caffeine. I was getting irregular heartbeats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because I was on T3 for my thyroid, and it didn't agree with me. So
that'll do it.
got rid of the T3, back to regular T4
Now you're back to the
Synthroid.
T8000.
Did you have to, did you quit cold turkey or did you wean yourself off?
I just cold. I was only on it for about a month. It just didn't agree with me, so I'm back on Synthroid full strength.
That's what my mom got.
Yeah.
She takes
Seems
that.
like a lot of people are on that.
Yeah.
Well, I got that Hashimoto and I got Sjogren's. I got these Chinese diseases, I guess.
Jeez.
Yeah, like
Isn't Hashimoto's Japanese?
like I want to get some. My favorite dish is some young guy.
No, he's hilarious now, dude.
What's in that
Oh my
coffee,
God.
Jenny? What?
Well,
is in
I'm
that
not
coffee?
drinking coffee. I was drinking
What's in your
Coke.
Coke Zero?
I was just drinking Coke, nothing straight.
Yeah.
No, it's a full. No, I've noticed my personality. Like Trish was saying, the full moon is on November 19th. I can start feeling almost insane. I'm not kidding you. Crazy, emotional, agitated,
302.
nuts before the full moon. And then as soon as it's over, I'm not drunk, Augie. As soon as it's over, I feel like a new person, especially when the new moon's here. I feel so great.
I was just telling a friend I was with yesterday. I'm like, I know I'm crazy, right? I'll be crazy until after the full moon. It's fine.
So are you
Full moon
crazy?
is new moon.
Are you crazy with the full moon too?
I just do. So more so, well, both, I guess, full moon and new moon.
Yeah.
It's like I have to really protect my energy because I am susceptible, it seems, to a lot of channeling, open channeling. And if I don't protect that, it just comes and goes. And so
Definitely.
I'll start, seeing car crashes and things before and it is really disturbing and emotional because those are really bad things. And so,
yeah, I feel it. I feel it coming on. And my mother said, "You're such a," today. I said,
"Oh, did she?"
Yeah, she said, "I'm so agitated." I said, I get like I've been really agitated lately. But I think it's because I don't know. It just
and
seems
this
like,
this full moon is in Scorpio, I believe. So that's a rough one for people, because they're Scorpionic energy. But also you have to be careful having surgeries, things like that, depending on what planet the moon is in, because different planets correlate with different body parts and different organs. So if it's, say you're going to have, say your appendix ruptures or something, I believe that's, I want to say like Gemini or Cancer maybe. But if you were to have surgery on that day, it's more sensitive. So you're more likely to have complications for certain things. Because there's science to prove this, Sean.
Yes, Sean. I'm a Gemini.
I'm a Pisces.
So each planet that the moon is in affects a different body part, which is interesting. Yeah. So that's why you should research if you do have surgeries coming up, what body part that planet correlates with. So
I was born on the full moon.
Well, you know what? We should have Trish on as a guest.
Yeah,
and talk astrology.
Yeah, Trish.
Yeah, Trish, you're on next week.
Astrology?
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about the planets and the moons, maybe throw little elementals in there. What do you think?
Oh, gosh.
I like those little medals.
That picture that you showed us, Jen, that thing. What did you see that box, Trish? What do you think those were in that box?
Oh, those are really cool. Those little fairies.
Lost my.
You talking about the fairies?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really cool. Those are out in my backyard.
Wait.
Jenny sent us something where she bought that there was like 3 fairies that
wasn't me. That was Trish.
Oh, is that you, Trish?
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Yep.
What do you think of that?
What do I think of it? You mean that I attract
No, nothing about you, but what do you think? I read some stuff up on it, and some say that the bodies would just disintegrate, or the wings that they got will disappear.
Oh,
that's all.
You mean the ones? Yes. No, I think it's 100% possible that they would remain preserved, because look at, if you go to zoos and things where they preserve butterflies, those wings it's a different type of material. It's not something that, it's almost like a fabric. So I think it's absolutely possible that would remain preserved, as well as there's other countries, in Ireland, fairies are protected. The actual government has a law protecting fairies. So obviously,
Jason, stop laughing. We're having a conversation.
What are you laughing at? I'm laughing because you're laughing. I don't know what you're laughing at.
I'm
time to
sorry,
go to
Trish. You're acting like children tonight.
Hey, we're all somebody's kids, right?
It's time to go. I'm
It's
so
time to
glad
go.
we had this time
Oh, Lord.
together just
Oh,
to
my
sing
goodness.
a song.
Lord have mercy.
Sorry,
Amen.
Trish. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Trish, we'll continue this conversation next week. What do you think?
Sean, stop it. I'm being sorry, Trish. I
It's
can't.
the full moon.
Sometimes when it's a full moon. You're right, Augie. It's the full moon. I can't.
Dude, I'm telling you, Trish, there are times she's mild now. You should have seen her full blown one time, a couple times. Oh my God. And it was only an hour show. It wasn't a 2 hour
Right?
show. It was an hour show.
Oh
like,
man, I'm mild right now. If we had this show yesterday, y'all would have thought I was on something.
And I'm not on anything, seriously.
well,
yeah.
I got my guest for the next show is Del Lessie. He does the delicious recipe on Thursday nights. In fact, he took our spot, and he's going to be on my
I
show
want my
next.
spot back.
Oh, I made a killer porterhouse steak the other day.
I saw pictures of it.
Oh my.
Okay, we got to go because our boss is telling us we have to
No,
go.
no.
Oh no.
No. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. What does he mean
God
now?
knows.
Who did that? Did Joe do that?
I don't know.
I guess so. Or did you do it?
I didn't do it.
Maybe you subconsciously did it and just didn't realize it.
No. It has to be Joe. It's not me.
I think he's saying it's time to go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 11,
Time to go. All righty, let's go then. I will play.
Thanks for Torture Tuesday, everybody.
Wasn't that torturous?
No, it
could have been
wasn't.
torture. It could have been more torture. Okay.
Okay, everyone.
All
Good
right.
night, Gracie.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on Chasing Prophecy. I was going to play our ending, but I can't find it. There's too many videos. So here we go. I think that's it. No, that's not. So we're just going to say goodbye because I can't find it. There's too many of them. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for Chasing Prophecy on 105.3
New Orleans.
New Orleans. So have a great night. Talk to you
Good
later.
night.
Yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
Good night, everybody.
Oh my God, help us.